Hello, hello. What's going on out there, crypto world and stock world, or trading world, period? How about that? Let's not limit ourselves to just crypto. Because what fun is that? There's so many other cool things to trade. I hope y'all are having a wonderful, awesome Thursday. Almost forgot what day it was for a second. January 21st, 2021. You know who it is. You know what time it is. It's your boy, Z-Rex with no noise. And we are live today. Looks like I've got decent internet. Hopefully we don't have no issues with all of that crap like yesterday. But, you know, hey, what are you going to do? They were doing some maintenance or something down the road, I found out. So that's probably why. Not a big deal. All my frames look nice. I got sexy frames. 60 kilobytes a second, all that, nothing dropped. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, bitty Bitcoin, what the hell are you doing? Our fears have come true from the last couple videos. Also, not very many movers counter trending this. CLO, I know that's pretty new. I looked at it a little bit earlier. We'll go to it after Bitcoin. But pretty much everything is selling off today with the handful HBAR, which has been on a tear, and KNC. We'll go look at those here in a bit. But let's go ahead and start off with Mama Bear. As we can see here, getting that rejection we spoke about a couple days ago, the continuation in this last hold. Once that candle that we were looking for, the medium term, closed below 34,000, it broke this structure and had continuation. So this is not sexy price action by any means. Unfortunately, it did come to fruition. Not surprisingly, though. There's lots of cautionary things, lower highs, some lower lows, especially here to here. That's the one I didn't really want to see on medium-term time frames. Got it. Bounced right into the 21 into the opening EMAs yesterday and got rejected. That is super weakness in price. No big deal. We're trying to find support here in all these wicks, but this candle, I don't like that we actually closed all the way. Where does this close exactly? 31,100. Oh man, it's not as bad as if it closed below 31,000. So that's good-ish for the bulls. But we are all in this cluster with these wicks and this business before the launch up to the 40,000 area. This structure is not good looking at all, though. It's starting to look more and more like distribution here. We spoke about it yesterday. We really needed to hold. Like yesterday's candle kind of set us up with this wick below all these other wicks the last week or so. So that was not nice to see. And now we're getting follow through below the 200 EMA. I'm sorry, 200 MA. That's a regular simple one. So that is this white 200 simple. And so we got follow through with that. Now we're residing below it and below these closes. This is not what you want to see for bullish price action. And just real quick, I'm going to throw this horizontal on with the lows here and here. And also back here, highs support flipped a bunch of times around this level. So you can see we just came up and tested it a second ago. And we're already getting rejected from that. We can zoom in real close and tight like. And we got right to it, to these areas, and we're pulling back. So not really great. If we start staying below all this business, and which is about 33K, this is probably going to get a test down to the high 20,000s. Let's see, RSI. RSI got pretty deep. 23 on the RSI. When was the last time we even saw that? Back over here on this little dump where it lived below. Let's zoom in there. And if you want to just zoom in without scrolling the whole chart like that, you can hold control down and it'll just zoom right where your cursor is. So just a little trading view school there. But you can see we lived under it for a little bit before. Well, what's up, Mr. Joe? Welcome. It doesn't even say I have any viewers. I guess Streamlabs is screwing up, which, what a shocker. If anyone has some other recommendations, please feel free to chat or comment them on the video when it's done. Anyway, so we did live under this for a little bit and ended up getting caught and rallied up. But right now, I don't know. I don't like it. It sucks. This is not good. I'm hoping the new administration doesn't implement some crazy crypto tax or change the landscape or something. That could possibly happen. But right now, this is getting pretty bearish. And this daily is about to do what we didn't want it to do, closing below this horizontal. Now, it still does have 3 hours left. So, I mean, 3 hours, anything can happen in crypto. So it definitely could come back up over this 32.7, 32.8 area. And if that does happen, then it wouldn't look as bad. But as it stands now, you kind of have to take it for what it's worth and what it's showing us, price action that is. And it's not super sexy by any means. Sucks. We do have bears up into the power zone, and bulls are way down here trying to stay out of the forgotten zone, which is sub 10 on the DMI indicator. So anything below, if we don't get above 33K, just kind of keeping it more simple, this is pretty much in bear mode now. Yes, on the weekly, it's still up here and above all the moving averages across the board. But as we've been talking about for at least the last week, we are just so far away from these. I mean, even after this sell-off, we're still 17% away from the short-term moving average, which is a 10 simple, the cyan one. So it's kind of looking like we're about to go stab into at least the upper 28K. Maybe we get a little bounce there. But it kind of looks like this is making its way down to that mid 20,000 range, which there's actually let's go to that real quick, CME. There's actually a gap here too on CME's right in that zone. So that would actually be kind of nice to go ahead and just get that out of the way, fill that gap up, and maybe we can get some continuation back to the upside. And CME's chart, their bulls are just now losing the momentum, so yeah, I would actually like to see that for some bullish continuation, because that's a pretty healthy correction, about 37% from these local highs. Oh, let's see. Yeah, on the weekly, the gap is there as well. So, yeah, we're just coinciding right with the shorter-term moving averages. And by the time maybe this happens, unless it's in the next couple days, you know, the 21 is going to ratchet up here. Actually, tomorrow, because this will be closed mañana. CME action. Let's go back to spot chart. But yeah, let's see. I mean, this is about the lowest time frame I like to look at. Is like the 3 hour, 4 hour area. So right now, pretty much bulls have been iced since we got this rejection back here at like 37, and staying below this trend line. Let's see if we can maybe close the day a little bit stronger and get back above this horizontal. Until then, nothing really much else to say. All right, let's look at Ethereum, but not on the stupid trade station chart. And the chart is all, you saw all those crazy ass wicks. We don't want none of that. All right, so Ethereum showing relative strength as it has been for a while. It's not even below its 200 SMA here, this dotted white line or gray line. It is breaking below the mama, and it looks like we're plotting some pretty hefty resistance around 1,300 now, right after hitting these all-time highs by just 40 little measly dollars and immediately selling off that day. Not sexy at all, and this daily is actually starting to set up for an engulfing bearish, especially if it closes on these lows here. But it is still above its 21 daily EMA, so for what it's worth, that's okay. I definitely don't hate that. The worst part is this down here, the RSI coming up and retesting into the exponentials down here on the gray with a higher high from this structure to this structure, but not being able to regain the momentum. So that's kind of ugly. Let's zoom in a little bit. bears are just kind of getting started. We'll see if they get rejected here. If they get continuation and bulls stay in this weak zone for the rest of the day, this probably will go test the 200 MA here. And depending on when that happens over the next day or so, that'll be around $1,100. But it's still barely intact. We take out that 1130, it's probably a quick trip to 1100, and maybe even a little further stab down from there, like into this cluster here in like the mid 1050 area. Let's look at a weekly. Gosh, yeah, see the weekly on this guy? 33% away just from this SMA. I'd actually like to see it go there. Maybe that'd be a good re-entry for some long action, possibly. Don't listen to me, though. I don't know shit, so that's just what I'm personally looking at. And I would love to see that gap fill on the CME chart. That would be lovely. Because the sooner the better, you know, because it's going to get filled at some point. Gaps almost always get filled. Almost always get filled. And so that would be a good spot for myself, I would like. Anyway. Oh, gosh, Litecoin, kind of the same area. Yep, getting rejected at its 618 retracement from this candle. That is pretty damn bearish. Let's look at it on the 3 hour. Yeah, we're just now opening up and expanding here. But there is the creeping up 377. So if Litecoin's going to hold on, it's going to hold on right about here. At about 123 is that low. So as long as it can keep its grip and not dip below this like we've already done with Bitcoin, that's the scariest part, is Bitcoin Mama Bear is breaking down from its price structure. So that's the worst thing. But Litecoin really has all the way to about 120, 123 before it really starts to damage the structure here. And on the daily, we are below the 21 and the shorter term Cyan 10 simple. And closing kind of on these lows. But there's a lot of business done right here, again, coinciding with those lower 120 areas. So it still looks all right. You know, don't super panic yet. And when Bitcoin goes down like $300, people are like, it's crashing. I've been chat sometimes, and it's just really funny to to see all that. It's like, oh shit, it's down 0.25%. It's like, okay, dude. Whatever you say, man. Oh, let me go over here real quick before I forget to look at these. CELO. I don't think there's even much chart action, price history on this, but we're going to look at it anyway. CELO. Yeah, see, this isn't, you can't really do much analysis on this. I mean, the 3 hour kind of had this like basing pattern, but I mean, you're talking, this is only out since the 6th. Yeah, I like more data. I can't really make anything out of that. Let's go to KNC. I know that's been around a little bit longer. Oh, yeah, all the way since October. Wow. No, it's got to be longer than that. Hold up. Let's find something else. Bitfinex, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Bitfinex goes back to June of 18, which all-time high of about 277. Yeah, this is still looking pretty good. This was the awesome test right here into that, to the opening up EMAs that we've discussed in previous videos. I love seeing that as a re-entry zone. Maybe you kind of missed the initial pump, but if you see, or the initial flip to getting kind of bullish, then yeah, this is a nice reaccumulation zone, and it's coming to fruition here. As long as this price stays above all this business at about $1.20, this still looks actually pretty good. I can't hate that. And we got all the EMAs in chronological order, and they're all pointing slightly up except for the 200 simple here. The gray one is kind of flat, but everything else is pointing up, so that doesn't look too shabby. Maybe a target here at about $1.80, like the $1.80 handle. Looks kind of likely at this point. Let's zoom in just a tad. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. Above 120, target's probably about 180-ish. Yeah, so I kind of like that. Maybe 160 to be a little conservative, because this big candle right here, the top of it, it's like 164. So maybe 160 before 180. Well, obviously that, but it might not get up to there depending on what Mama Bear does. Because if Mama Bear starts rolling over harder and breaks that 30K level, I would imagine it's going to get real bloody out in the alt streets. All right, CRV. Wow, just pump it up. This is ridiculous pump here. It's defying Bitcoin at the moment. This thing is pretty much bullish above 120. Let's zoom in a little bit. Maybe we can get a little bit better handle on that. Yeah, so 140. If it loses 135, 140, then I would start to get a little bit concerned. You do have momentum waning. You can see RSI is struggling to get back up here in the upper zones, like close to the 80 area. So yeah, I won't be touching that. That move looks like it's mostly been had, and plus you gotta watch Mama Bear. That's very important in this market. It's kind of like the dollar in traditional markets. Dollar's king, Mama Bear's king. All right, wow, HBAR just still pumping. Although, look at this. We're starting to get an exhaustion candle up here. Gave up all those gains from the day, and now we're literally closing on the open. So this is going to be a shooting star type doji at the top of highs, which is not what you want to see for continuation. Let's zoom in a little bit, and we've got momentum on the RSI has waned. But as long as it holds 9 cents, it's all right, and this can reset because you do have... Oh, I don't have my horizontals on here. Let me throw them on real quick. Just do a little Alt-H action. You can throw those on wherever you want. Bears are starting to kind of creep in, but, I mean, bulls are firmly in place. So as long as it's holding 9 cents, this is probably okay. But this candle right here is not sexy. You don't want to see that, especially if it closes like this. Still got 3 hours, so we'll see what happens. But it's not super sexy. Holy crap, I didn't notice this. We usually look at this earlier in the stream. I will check those out. Mr. Joe, we'll do that right before. What the hell? What is this crap? What is this blip? 137 quadrillion. All right, it looks like Coin Checkup has a bad data tick or something, because as we all know, that definitely didn't happen. What is that? Bitcoin at like 300,000 or some, I don't even know what the hell would bring that number in. I didn't see that the other day, so I don't know what's going on here. Let's get that off of the chart. We can't. You little son of a bitch. There we go. Let's just scroll on down. I did not notice that today a lot of money came out of the crypto market. Look at this. We're down at 938 billion. I mean, that's a pretty hefty drop. Probably one of the larger drops we've seen, except from back over here when it was 275 quadrillion. You know, y'all all remember that. Damn, that's going to mess up this whole damn chart. We did have this pretty swift one down to 960 billion, but it found support. But now we're actually below that, so that's not good. We want to see the market cap generally get back above that 950-ish. Seems to be kind of a pivot here. But yeah, that sucks. I wish I could remember. I know total too. Is it just total by itself? Oh, it is. I'm just overthinking shit. Here, let's look at this. This is better. We don't need that chart. That chart sucks with its quadrillionness. All right, that looks better. All right, so this is the total market cap on TradingView. See, that's a nicer chart. I much prefer to look at it on here. We are, yeah, look at that. Wow, just kind of dying out over the last, since the beginning of the year almost, except for this little super pump. Yeah, we'd like to not see this start getting down, especially back below these wicks. We lose like 875. That's not going to be sexy at all. So just keep your eye on the Bitcoin chart. Let's go to CLSN for Mr. Joe. Pamp. Look at this pamp. We talked about this one. I don't know. When was it, Joe? I was over here somewhere. I think it was like 80 cents or maybe it was 90 cents. I can't remember. It was somewhere in this area. We'll just call it 90 cents. I really like this chart. Super sexy chart. It's exactly trying to see. Wow, massive volume today on this candle. But yeah, this was a super sexy chart. I loved it. You can see too, look at this consolidation of the bulls in the power zone while the bears are just oscillating between the weak and forgotten zone. I love that, while you get this slow grind up and the moving averages all open up on top of each other. This is really good. It did find a little resistance right here at the 377 and the 200, which are stacked on each other. But today, the buyer said, F you, we're going to pump this bitch. And it ended up jumping about 80 something percent. It has given a lot of it, to be fair. Pretty much, yeah, you got the open right here. And it's given up all the price action, down about 40% from its highs. But the thing is with this chart, as long as it stays above like $1.50, this still looks okay. It has filled most of this gap, though. Close enough is close enough. It's only, you know, what is that, about 60 cents away from filling it. But, yeah, maybe we get an attempt to close it up there. I wouldn't bank on that if I was in this trade. Well, actually, I was in that after Joe shared that with me. Thank you. That was great. I did take off half of the position earlier this morning. And I'm just going to let the other part ride, see what happens. We lose 150, I will let go of that for sure. And you can see 150 is just kind of nice because you have these, look at all this business done around this gap that it made. Maybe we can see that a little better on the weekly. No, you can't really. Well, anyway, so 150, this still looks all right. Massive, massive volume. Let's look at that on the weekly. Wow, almost the most volume on it ever. It looks like not quite. This one's a little bit higher back over here in September. And you can see what happened, though. It got rejected. But the posturing slightly different. You had the 55 exponential and the mama purple line as resistance right next to each other. And it got totally slapped back down. Here we're actually above the 55 at 126. But it is getting rejected from the higher time frame, 200 and the purple. So yeah, so that's interesting. So there's massive resistance at about $2 on this guy. So until it gets it back above 2, it'll probably stall out. And again, back below 150, bye-bye. Let that go. PLX. Don't know what this is. Let's check it out. It's pamping. Oh, look, it had that nice consolidation. Oh, let's see where we're at. Not as good of a chart as the previous one, but still pretty nice. Opening up here. When you see this just tight opening towards the upside and everything kind of pointing up, I love these setups. I actually wish there was a way I could program this somehow to look at that. Maybe one of you guys can help me do that. That would be great. I think I've mentioned to you before, Joe. Possibly. Maybe not. I think I did, though. But anyway, this is really nice. I wouldn't be touching this, though. The move has kind of already happened. And you got major super major resistance in the upper 4s. So let's look at a weekly. Yeah, which coincides with the 200 simple on the weekly. Yeah, but look at all this. I'm just going to put a horizontal for easier visuals. So you can see right here, this horizontal has been a point of interest for many, many months here, for about 2 years, mostly to the downside. We clear, though, 490. This thing probably would run real hard. Let's see, a monthly. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's not much volume yet, so that's interesting. Maybe it hasn't climaxed. Maybe we'll have a super blow-off climax with massive volume while some bigger guys, whale people, get out. You can see here how that kind of happens. They do one last little pump, consolidate on that pump, and then it just goes away after that. So, yeah, possibly. We cleared $5 on this guy. Man, yeah, I mean, coming up here to 750-ish becomes very real on that. But conversely, if we lose... let's see. If we lost this third candle back here in this wick about 420, yeah, we'll call it 420 because that's a great number. If we lost 420, this is probably going to roll over. Let's see if lower time frames kind of agree with that. Yeah, we're consolidating here. Low time frame chart looks terrible. This must not be very liquid. Yeah, so it's about saying the same thing. If we lose this cluster, which is around where the 21 exponential is, then that's good. You also could use just the shorter term simple moving average, and as soon as price breaks below that, I would probably let it go. Maybe even if you want to be real conservative, below this 440 level of the business here, the last couple days would probably do it as well. But Not too shabby. Nice trade there, sir. All right, let's jump into traditional markets. They only go up, right? Clown world up. Go BRrrr. It's just crazy. Try to find something that's down since coronavirus. It's like, besides like some shitty ass penny stock, but anything that's pretty well traded, I challenge someone to go find a something that's like down, not flat, but literally minus percentages, because it's pretty much impossible. It looks like we're getting some continuation on this guy. Like this candle yesterday, as long as we stay above 3,800, 3,820, this is probably going to go to our measured target up here into the 4,000 area, 4,000 to like 4,200. What's up with 4,200 like popping up around a lot of places? Or 420 in some fashion. Anyway, yeah, it looks good. I don't see any super big issues. Let's go weekly. Weekly is struggling to get into the power zone, so that's kind of interesting. DMI looks okay though. This is what you want to see. Maybe it's just consolidating up here and kind of slowly grinding up for a massive move to the upside. But yeah, this is just so neutral on the RSI. That's kind of odd. Daily's showing the same thing. Look at this, like getting rejected from the 70 area as we've what is this? We've grinded up 6-7%. And I think we talked about this the other day about how damn neutral this is. This is really, really odd price action, which isn't that surprising considering the market right now. But keep it simple. Staying above 38, 38.20. This has got room to run for sure. Looks like today the bulls have run out of steam, though. They are getting back into a neutral position, so that's interesting. I don't have any longs on directly on this, but if I did, I would probably consider taking off half of them. This is a really good trade if you caught any of this, which I feel kind of dumb for not catching any of that right here when it came and tested this little pivot zone, 37.60. But hey, you can't catch them all. All right, Russell. Russell's lagging out. So we get rallies up on the other markets. Russell's been leading the whole time, and it's not making new highs. I mean, I guess it made this little tiny incremental bullshit high, but that doesn't really count. This is kind of funny that it's not participating in the rally. Maybe there's a little bit of rotation going on just because this had such a massive move to the upside. And maybe some money's just flowing over back into SPY and the NASDAQ and all that. But, yeah, this is kind of surprising. It's not getting any continuation on it. Let's see. And there was a 618 extension. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it is 618. It's a 3618. That's on the rut. I'll go over there real quick so y'all can see it. Yeah, we've had this drawn on there for a long time. And we finally met the target. And it looks like it's struggling to get over that. If it can get over 2170, we'll probably get continuation. And that would put us maybe at a target. Let's go back over to the rut. Do I have it drawn on there? No, I do not. Oh, let's do just short-term fib action real quick. We're at the 168. Maybe like 2300 roughly would be like a short-term target if we do clear that 2160 area, 2170. But right now, kind of just lagging, and it looks like here we are losing the momentum on the daily. It might be the first time since back over here in late December on this sell-off. So kind of have to just wait and see. The market is kind of acting funny when it was supposed to just rally hard. Biden's the best, blah, blah, blah. But I don't care about politics, but, you know, it's just kind of funny. I do think this is almost like a sell the news type event for Biden, but that's my opinion. Don't trade your opinion because it'll probably make you lose a lot of money. Anyway, the Dow. Bam, 31, as long as it stays above 39 if you want to be a little loose. As long as it stays above 30,900 and about 31. It looks all right. Kind of lagging though a little bit. Let's go look at NQ. NQ is blowing it up. I guess tech's getting excited again as it was lagging for a while Russell was getting its crunk on. Looks like we're about to close over this extension at the 13.3. We do that, it really opens up the door for up here at 15,000, which is about 10% away. So definitely watch the NASDAQ to see if we can get some continuation on that guy. It does look real good. We're starting to get bulls in control. Bears are fading out. Let's see how the week closes and give us a better idea. But on this, yeah, just staying above this 13.3 level, which it's already kind of bouncing off of, has flipped to support. So anything above that, I don't see any reason to think about shorts on this at all. VIX. But now, VIX trying to get caught in this little support box that we have drawn on here. We'll see what happens. Nothing really to see on this chart. Yep, can't really, there's nothing to come out of this. So just see if it can hold the low 20s. Getting below 20 would definitely probably usher in those big-ass moves to 4,000, 4,200 on ES, and 15,000 NASDAQ, stuff like that. VVIX. VVIX in the same kind of posturing, trying to make not a lower low, but not looking great. We are kind of getting a little squeezed in here. This is very funky action for the VIX. You can see it doesn't usually consolidate like this in such a pretty range. I mean, that is like a really good box. So usually it just fades off really quick. So I don't know. That is kind of interesting. Maybe the market's sniffing something out. Let's go see what the dollar's doing. Dollar's dumping. Wow. Okay. So it's losing this pump here. What? Don't care about that. It's losing this pump here. Don't like that for... And that, wait, that's actually pretty odd because dollar and Bitcoin usually like to have inverse correlations, but not today. They're selling off together. So that's a little bit different. Wow, I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at this chart today, so that's kind of throwing me for a little bit of a loop. Maybe we can pull up a correlation coefficient real quick and see, because actually now I'm curious. Let me pull that up real fast and just add that to the chart, and let's go Bitcoin, Bitstamp, and apply that, and let's see. Okay, yeah, see? You can see here on the bottom, this red box. Let me just open up the whole red box so we can see it. You can see that it's been negatively correlated. Anything sub-zero is negative correlation. It's been that way for a while. Pretty much the last almost year, roughly. And this is on a daily, so let's look at it on a weekly. Yeah, weeklies is still down there. This is interesting. I'm going to do some more research on that and come back with y'all tomorrow on some dollar Bitcoin correlations, because I want to think about that a little bit more off stream. Let's see. But yeah, so that is interesting, kind of getting correlated today. We lose this low here at like 89.9. It's going to probably continue to the downside. Maybe Biden will be printing massive amounts of money for whatever the hell they're going to do. It's kind of disgusting. We just print forever. Let's look at the euro. It's probably rallied pretty hard. Yep, rallying pretty decently. Zoom in a tad. Trying to get back going. Yeah, anything back above 122. That's probably going to usher in at least a test of, upper 122s. And you're like, well, that's not that far. Well, FX is super leveraged, so that is actually like a really big move in FX. Because, you're talking like micros, pennies, and tiny ass numbers. So, but yeah, this is a nice little bounce right off the 55 and the mama here, and then we do have this trend line that's coming up a little bit farther away, but it does look like mama's printing support, this flat part here that's projected out at 122 pretty much, like we were just talking about. So that's nice coinciding there. Weekly, that's looking pretty good. Interesting. So that's agreeing with dollar. How about TNX? So see, now this is a weird day. So dollar down, TNX kind of up, Bitcoin down a lot. I don't know. I'm going to have to mull on that for a little while today. But, sometimes that's why it's dangerous to look at correlations, because it can kind of marry you to an idea or belief. And generally, beliefs in trading will wreck you. Let the price kind of tell you what's up. So I kind of do like to default to maybe entertaining the idea of correlation sometimes, but you always have to be ready to change your mind. Correlations can break down in any day, any moment. And so there's a good saying from a trader I like to say is, it goes, it's like you don't know shit and it only takes one trader in the world to mess your position up, and you have to be able to switch or just get out and go to cash to protect yourself. Because if you don't and you're married, you'll just bleed down and hold 90% losers all the way down, and it'll bounce back up. It's like, no, it won't. You need like 1,000% gain or something to re-get that. It's pretty much after like a 15-ish% loss, it becomes incredibly difficult to start regaining your capital, because even if you do like a 50% loss, you have to double up just to get back to even. But that doesn't count slippage or anything else. And then after below that, it just starts compounding like hardcore. So do keep that in mind. Let's see. Let's go to... I wanted to see, what was it? Gold. Yes, gold. We got to look at the gold. Gold looking still pretty good. Had a little dip right to the 10 simple daily, but also finding resistance at the 55 today. Let's zoom in a tad. I like that it's consolidating up here on the highs of this nice girthy green dilly candle. That's pretty nice, but it is neutral still on the DMI. No one's in power there. And the RSI is actually neutral too, kind of staying in between the two averages. So gold getting back above 1875. This looks like a nice party. And anything back below kind of that pivot point in around 1860. And it looks like that kind of is updated to about 1855. And that's a super tight ass range. Let's get a weekly on there. Yeah, kind of showing the same resistance to the upside. But I think just being over that 1855, 1860 pivot is nice, because that engulfs all this price action here. You have this candle engulfing after picking up this business. I mean, this is a pretty decent setup. Let's go look at GDX, see what it looks like. GDX doesn't look as good, so that sucks. That's not going with gold. Although on the weekly, it looks all right. Above 34, all right. That's fine. Yeah, GDX is just a hard-ass chart to read on a daily. I mean, look at this shit. What is this? Almost looks like some crappy biotech or illiquid shitcoin or something. But let's go back to gold real quick. I wanted to see one more thing. Yeah, bears are still in control. Barely, though. They might lose it today. I'd like to see that get back in here. Maybe spaghetti it out before some continuation. That would be a real good look. And ultimately, there's another hard resistance point right here at 1890. So maybe we get a little pump into that range and then see what happens. But as long as it's holding, again, that upper 1850 range, 1850 handle, this looks okay. Silver and gold. Silver actually looks a little bit better on the lower time frames. Look at that. We got this candle today closing, and it's engulfed all the bodies, not the wicks yet, but it's got all the bodies from the last day of business, so that's nice. It does have this wick too engulfed in it, so that's also nice as well. So I actually like silver's chart better here. You've got these kind of expanding more aggressively, all sloped up. Let's go to the daily, and it's above. Oh, look at that! It's even above the resistance on the extended projected mama move here. See, so what I'm talking about real quick to compare, you can see gold. See, is below it right there. See, bam. Silver, though, is above it. So silver is showing some relative strength here. I do like that a lot. Let's see what the 618 is. All right, 618 is about 2630. So if we can clear that, let's go ahead and put it horizontal there. We can clear this here. This will probably bring in at least a retest of these highs, about 27.80, 28 bucks. That becomes very likely if we can clear that. So that's very interesting. And again, I love silver's monthly chart. This is a really sexy chart. Really awesome. There's nothing shitty about this chart. I mean, really on silver, if it's above 21.50, it's in total buy the effing dip mode. Like that. Beautiful. All right, let's go look at platinum. We haven't looked at platinum in a while. Oh, look at platinum kind of breaking out. It had a terrible ratio with gold for a long time, and it's finally coming to fruition. Look at this. Platinum went down to $600, man, on the Corona sell-off. Jesus, that's intense. Gee, I totally wasn't even thinking about platinum in this. I mean, a lot of people probably weren't because, watch out, everyone's going to die. But this is a really good-looking chart on the weekly. And if we want to see a platinum gold ratio chart, we can do that real fast because I think it's worth looking at. And if you want to do any kind of ratio, you can do that on TradingView. Just put the -- in there and it'll divide it up for you. And so you can see on this guy, it was the lowest in history for the 33 years of the futures contract that's been out for platinum. Here, and look how much further it went. It was like half of gold. Like, that's never happened, showing that gold, that platinum was extremely cheap relative to gold. And now we're actually getting some nice action. Platinum looks like it wants to play some catch up, which it should. It should be more expensive than gold theoretically and fundamentally, considering its scarcity, all that kind of crap, whatever. And it looks like this might catch up. So maybe a pairs trade on this guy would be a interesting play. I might actually do that. Do just a pairs trade where you buy the underperforming one, which in this case would be platinum, and then you short gold. And maybe just wait for this to get back up in here. That would be pretty nice. Maybe we'll put one of those trades on tomorrow or something like that. Let's see. I do like the platinum chart a lot, though. How about palladium? Palladium has been on fire for a while, so let's see. What time is it? Oh, markets are about to close. Palladium kind of stalling out after this massive dump. It's insane that palladium, wow, 50%. It's insane palladium was way more expensive than gold. I mean, think about that for a second. I'm sure this was because of the EV craze and all the electric crap, whatever. Palladium's heavily used and that kind of stuff. But now look at this. This is rounded top. This is starting to look rounded. This is kind of distribution-esque. Don't like that chart at all. I would not be getting long palladium here by any means. But if it does get back above 2,500, which we'll go ahead and put an alert on there because I want to know if that happens. And if it breaks 2,200, which I'm also going to put an alert on there because I want to know that, then maybe we'll get continuation on that 25. But man, yeah, this is not looking very sexy by any means. All right, let's go look at oil. I'm trying to remember to add oil into the regular. Oh gosh, oil negative. Look at this. It just messes up the whole damn chart. This damn negative crap. What is this? Negative $40. All right, we can put it on log and or take log off and it'll help a little bit. Oil is actually is pretty interesting right here. I do not hate this chart at all on a weekly. Getting squeezed up here. Let's get the daily. Yeah, wow, oil looking real nice here. I totally forgot kind of about oil for the last few months. I don't know why. I used to trade oil like religiously. I guess when this kind of happened, I kind of just was like, well, whatever. That probably happened to a lot of people. They're like, shit, fuck oil. But anything staying above the $50 on a longer time frame looks pretty nice on the weekly. Finding resistance at the 200 DMA and the 377 is right above it at 57.60. So got some pretty decent overhead resistance. Some definite supply is going to be hanging around there. But as long as we're holding above this 51.50 area and this 21 riding it up, it actually looks pretty good. I can't hate on the oil. Oh, look at this. Historical volatility is 0. And that measures its volatility against itself in the past. And you can see it does not get, here's the last time it had zeros. This usually happens right before moves start breaking out. It doesn't give you direction, though. It's not going to say you should be short or long, but it's just saying, hey, around the corner is likely a pretty large move. And you can see the last time that happened, here's one. And it ended up popping about 3% and then continued up pretty much for a while. And the last one before that was down over here. Let me zoom in a little bit. It was down over here, and that actually proceeded to be a 16% dump over the next 8 days. So, wow. Just kind of giving you a little bit of context. Here's another one, too. You know, here's a big move right there. Like I said, it does not give direction in any way, shape, or form, but that's what you can kind of use moving averages and other stuff. So, but yeah, oil looks like it's going to have a move coming up here soon, so keep an eye out for that. All right, I did want to look at, let me see, I wanted to look at some weed stocks because weed, wow, this shit just kept going up today. Let me zoom in. Oh, I guess it stalled out in the opening hours. That's not a surprise. That usually happens. But it is getting continuation. This is just a bananas chart. Very, very pumpy. Oh, man, I don't know about this now. I don't like that chart now. That's extended as F. It's like, what are you going to get long here? And where do you put your risk? Like 30, 40, 50% down? I mean, I guess we could use these previous highs at about $1.20, and that's like where it's finding resistance. So not great, but I do think Mexico is going to be voting on the weed legalization, and they have to do it by the end of April. Funny that they picked April as the extension for that. Pretty hilarious. But anyway, they're getting some love, and this is outside of anything that the Biden administration might possibly do. But there is a couple of hemp. I pulled up the wrong one. I'm sorry. There's a couple of hemp charts that I like. Like this guy. I'm liking how this is starting to set up. It does have the overhead resistance coming down, but can kind of use that as a target now. I do like this posturing, though, on some of these hemp stocks. I definitely like the posturing on this guy for sure. This is pretty nice setup. This is kind of how that CLSN setup was that we looked at the other day, Joe, before it started getting real serious. But you have to be real careful with these. They trade like shit coins. They get pumped and they get immediately dumped. I mean, look at this here. Even in a daily, intraday, it gets taken back a lot of times. So it is a penny stock, so that comes with the territory. But I do kind of like this setup, especially as long as it's holding above this business here at about we'll just call it like 60-ish cents. So that looks pretty nice. And I'd imagine there's going to be, I would be shocked if Mexico doesn't go all the way through with that. Mexico is a perfect place to grow weed and do all that too, and all the ports, its location. I mean, pretty epic. And hell, maybe it can even chill it out down there from the cartels. I mean, it seems like a kind of like a no-brainer. Let's see. MJN. Yeah, see, here's an example of that getting faded today. Pumpity pump pump. Dumpity dump dump. Gave it all up. This one kind of already had its move. You can see it looks sort of like CV. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to change that color. I wanted that to be green, man. You can kind of see it had the same style move before it started pumping right there. So that's pretty nice. I kind of like this one, except 15 cents. I don't like stocks when they start getting super cheap like that, because I mean it's like a penny is like 5%. It's just crazy, and the liquidity sucks. This one looks okay. I kind of still like this one, even though it's 10 cents. I'm not trading this one or anything, but I'm just kind of fanning through some of these weed stocks because I think there's going to be some big players when Mexico news comes out at some point. Or at least like a sell the news type event. This one already had the opening. You can see down here we like the stacked moving averages. And once it broke above the 377, it's been off to the races. Just kind of an example there. Hemp, I'm not going to touch this one. I don't like, it's like sub penny. Definitely don't like that. But to be fair, this chart is setting up for a pretty nice move. If you like some risky penny stocks, you know, clearing this 0.7 penny, 0.8 penny area probably brings in a move up into here. Maybe it can get to a whole penny. It can almost be as valuable as Dogecoin. Although, I don't know if Doge is that valuable still now. Let's look at some of these blockchain stocks real quick. Oh my gosh, Riot just dumping in everyone's face. That's not a good sign. Look at this. Wow. I'm glad I pulled this up because I haven't looked at these in a while. So Riot is closing. It's very likely. Oh yeah, market's already closed, isn't it? Yep. So it has closed its daily below the 21. Not sexy. It has not done that literally since this rally started. So that's not good. Don't like that at all. Yeah, if it stays below this close here, 22 bucks, yeah, watch out. I don't know anything about this one, the Hive blockchain tech. A lot of these look like this is distribution. This smells of distribution up here. Looks like Marathon Patent Group. I don't know what the hell they really do with crypto. I had made this list at some point, so they're crypto related, but terrible chart below the 21. It did kind of fill this gap and overshot, so maybe we get a little relief bounce, but until it's back above like 22 bucks, yeah, screw that one. Oh, let's see. Blue Sky Digital Assets, kind of the same. They all kind of have very similar posturings. That's not a crypto stock. I need to take that out of here. That looks terrible. Let's just get off of that shit. GBDC just getting murder fest. It's actually been selling off all the way since the 14th, so that's interesting. Just dump, 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 5 candles in a row. Weekly, oof. Ugly weekly candle, but there's the shortest term moving average right below it. So, that's interesting. Maybe if we kind of just stay above 28 bucks, it'll be all good. And everyone's favorite, MicroStrategy. The shit that went to 630 bucks, it's down about 20%, not below its 21. It'll probably range here a little bit unless Bitcoin just dumps really hard into the low or mid 20s like we were discussing earlier. But yeah, looks like we might get some ranging action right here. And I'd say we'd zoom in, but I don't think it's going to give us any kind of insight. No, not really. All right, awesome. This has my real name. Yes, it does, Brian. What the hell, dude? You can go change that in the settings, though. I think they only let you change it like once a year or some crap, but there you go. Shanghai. This is an interesting chart to me. Everyone's favorite place. The lovely communist China. I know everyone hates China pretty much, but we kind of love them too at the same time because they make a lot of shit. But anyway, this is just pumping. If this keeps continuing, I mean, this is kind of getting into like breakout mode. I mean, it hasn't been this high since all the way back in January of 2018. So if as long as it holds 3,500, I mean, this is going to rally probably really hard. And we can go back in history. We looked at this a couple days ago or whenever it was, and you can see like these moves get real violent in the Chinese markets. So, and a lot of times these happen actually before really big sell-offs. So if you don't know, 2015 had a giant sell-off in equity markets in August. And you can see that the Shanghai actually gave up most of the, or half of these gains before the rollover even occurred in U.S. equities. Let's go back over here too. You can see, and same thing occurred in 07, 08. Just rally, rally, rally. It was like the last final innings of the party. And then they started rolling over. Well, let's actually go look real quick. October 2017, or 2017 of 2007. A little off there, only by a decade. Oh, let's see. October. Okay, so it actually went right with it. Same time, kind of rolled over in unison. How cute. So let's go back to Shanghai Comp. But yeah, so that wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But for the final little blow off, and you can even go back over here in .com. It did the same thing, got real aggressive right before it got super ugly to the downside. So I'm definitely watching the Shanghai hardcore at the moment. All right, let's see. Let's go look at... I wanted to look at 3D printers because what the shit? I got these alerts that I probably put on this damn chart like years ago that they broke over this range. Yeah, I must have put it in like back in 2017. And the other day I was like, 3D Systems is breaking up to the upside. I was like, what? Totally forgot about 3D printing stuff. I'm assuming everyone really did. But you can see this horizontal just bounce, bounce, bounce. Little fake out below it. And Jesus, this pump ensued from it, 202%, and it's all of them across the board. Strata, Cis pumping as well. So yeah, I don't know what's going on in the 3D printing world, but apparently it's hot again. You know, it hasn't been hot since what, back in 2014? Yeah, 13 when it did this meteoric rise. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be doing anything like this, but yeah, this is super aggressive. Just thought that was kind of funny, and you know maybe one of these hasn't popped yet. Nah, they all kind of look like they have done their biz. Yep, they're all pretty much up. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. All right, well, let's go to final thoughts and wrap this bitch up. Unless someone wants me to go look at a coin or anything, let me know. All right, daily is closing in 7 hours. What? That's not right. Oh, because this is a weird trade station. Damn it, it's creeping in. All right, there we go. 2.5 hours. That seems more correct. Oh, gosh, this is not what we want to see, y'all. This is not it. We do not want to close this daily below 32.8, this horizontal. We've been talking about it the last few days. It looks like it's going to happen. I know it's 2.5 hours left. Let's zoom in a tad. Yeah, see this candle? Don't like this. Getting rejected from the shorter term resistance level at about 33K. Not great. Bears in firm control right now. To relinquish that, they're going to have to get back over this candle right here in this horizontal 33K. It's that simple at this moment. And if that don't happen, we're probably on our way down to 28. And if we don't bounce at 28 aggressively, then we're probably going to go to 25, fill that CME gap, and then we'll have to just reassess from there. I know no one wants to hear bearish stuff, but I mean, when you start seeing lower highs and then you start making lower lows and intermediate and shorter term time frames and getting rejection candles from major support and resistance areas, I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm not gonna pretty much get bullish until we get back over 33,000 on a medium time frame. Let's go to a weekly. Yeah, weekly's starting to look pretty ugly, losing some momentum. It still does have 3 days, though, to be fair, so anything can happen in freaking 3 days. We could just false breakdown out of this triangle that we talked about yesterday, which you can see a lot better on the medium time frames. This guy right here, with a test under it, right at the rejection with the EMAs. I mean, this is textbook TA right here. It doesn't get pretty much more perfect than that. And Bitcoin loves its triangles. It really does. It's probably the one formation that, like, it's probably 70% or plus. I don't know. I don't have stats on that or anything, but just from looking at charts, they do play out very, very often. Not head and shoulders. Everybody freaking writes head and shoulders. I saw people saying that like this was a head and shoulders or something, and then like this was a head and shoulders. It's just like, what the hell? That's right, Clayton. If it's bearish, it's bearish. That's right, man. Don't overthink it. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, you just the price is telling you what's up. You, me, no one else is smarter than all the traders in the world looking at this. We're all watching the same movie. So, you know, unless you're Satoshi or something and have access to that gigantic wallet and you're about to dump it, move everything, that might be like the only one. But yeah, if it's bearish, it's bearish. What are you going to do? I like that. Just keep it simple. KISS method. But once we get, or if we get, shouldn't say once because I don't know shit. If we get above 33K, then I'll start to think about adding some longs to back to my position. And I'd really like to see this exponential, the RSI retake this exponentials. But it's got quite a bit of work to do. So that's going to take at least another day or so. And we'll just have to reassess at that point. All right, if no one wants me to look at anything else as far as tickers, I'll just wait for a second for that voice to go through the interwebs, and then I'll be signing off shortly. Yeah, wow, what is, oh, we're back open on equities. I'm just going to flip over there because I kind of got sidetracked. I was doing a little scalping earlier on the Russell. Let's go look at that. Oh, yeah, rejection. Jeez, dump right at the end of the day. Ew. All right, that's a 7 minute though, so whatever. All right, I'm not seeing anything pop up. Wow, I've already been on an hour. Holy crap. I can talk way too much. Well, sweet guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Much love. I will catch y'all on tomorrow's stream. Oh, look at this. Just real quick, I just noticed you got that HVP, historical volatility percentage, flashing that 0. Doesn't happen often. Last time was back here. Dump. Right here, little mini dump. Again, though, this doesn't give you direction, so it's just telling you be cautious for a larger move. Let's see if this gets follow through. Man, if Russell breaks 2130, shit, it's probably going to 2100 and possibly even down here to this major support level at 2060. But we'll just have to see what happens. All right, guys, much love. Joe, if you're still on. Are we going to go do the Doge meetup? Because we haven't done one of those. I feel like it's been more than a month now. What is Doge doing while we're looking at? Look at Doge being a good little boy, sitting right at 25 sats. That's it. How about USD price? Oh, no, it's not a penny anymore. Damn it, Doge. Why? Such disappointment. I just like to look at Doge on the BTC pair, though. Oh, look, it popped a whole Satoshi since we looked at it. Bring the Doge love, guys. All right, y'all. Much love. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Joe, hit me up if that's the case, or put a chat message, whatever, if we're going to do that. If not, it's all good in the hood. Happy trading. I'll see y'all mañana. Peace.